Welcome to the lead. Yours truly, Sean Garrity, working as a head coach today. Um, and this is what we call rep, the first rep, because we just finished first day of the Jamaica trials and the U.S. trials, and we got some big things coming up out of the both trials, which will surprise some of you, but for others, it's no big deal, and for some, the shocker of certain people not making it, um, and the reasons behind it, we're still trying to figure it out. But we'll start with one of the biggest surprises or shockers coming out of the U.S. trials, and that is one Fred Kerly. All right. So we're just going to look at day one of the USA trials and Jamaica trials. It's going to be a very short presentation today. All right, but Fred Kerly, the man, the myth, the legend, who has transformed himself from the 400 meters to the sprints to the 100 meters. All right, there you go, Mr. Fred Kerly. He is, I don't know, man. He made running that 9.8 something look way too easy. All right. So just welcome you again, everyone who's joining in. Um, just remember Sunday we're gonna have the full breakdown of everything, and we got some more things we're gonna be talking about on Sunday. All right, but that's Fred Curley right there. Um, and he's a Tokyo silver medalist. He produced a world lead 9.83 in that men's 100-meter heats at the championships on Thursday. But the shock of the day was in the preliminaries where fan favorite Shakira Richardson failed to advance. But also coming out of yesterday's USA World Champs, I mean, not World Champs, national trials, world champion Christian Coleman, who just came back after in January after serving an 18-month suspension for anti-doping whereabouts rules. He got his heat in 10.08, while Trayvon Bromell got 10.10. Now Coleman is feeling pretty decent, and that's what he said after in the post race interview. He says it feels like there's definitely a lot I can still contribute to build off of. That's what Coleman was saying, and then he feels pretty good for the prelim, so he's really excited to put it out there later on today. Now, of course, the top three finishers in Eugene will certain to qualify. Once they have this, they already have the standards, and they'll be looking forward to the global titles as well. But Aaliyah Hobbs, right, from Team US, she got a silver medal in a relay silver medal. She got the fastest time in the women's heat at 10.88. Whereas Richardson, whose Olympic dreams were ended by a suspension for a positive cannabis test last year, she got off to a really bad start. She was only able to manage 11.31. That is a dismal time, okay? That is a dismal time. So I don't know what y'all feel, man. I need some volunteers in the place today, man, to tell me what's really going on with Shakira. Because one thing with Shakira yesterday, she ducked out from the media. She ducked the media after the race, because after the race they have the media area where you go and you talk and you say, "Hey, I got a great guess. I ran a bad race. Whatever you said, coach, we're gonna go back to the drawing board." The standard talk. She totally avoided everything, and this is not a good look. But I'm sure she has her reasons for not showing up at that point, because she certainly didn't show up at the track. So I haven't spoken to anybody from her camp. I don't know anyone from her camp personally, right? So this is just me talking, as an outsider looking in. It is my honest belief that the social situations that she's found herself over the last year, this is the result of it. Yes, she's being pushed as the next, or could be, or should be. She had the marijuana situation. She had the very public private situation going on. Um, she's been pushed into a lot of promotional stuff. So all those things are coming down now to show the result. I had a brethren who I'm hearing his prediction was that she would not get out of the heats at the trials. I was personally giving her at least making the finals, right? In the 100, the first event, and then also in the 200 if she's going to run the 200. No, we don't even know if she's going to run the 200 because she avoided, like I said, she avoided all the media reports, all the media that was out there. She ducked them out. She just ducked and went about her business. So the reason why I think this is important, because we talk about a lot about mental health. We talk a lot about off the track things that could affect you, or that will affect you. And clearly, what we've seen with Shakiri is that whatever is going on off the track is affecting her. And this is a part of the problem when you have your life so much in front. But I mean, as a public figure, because once you become a professional athlete, you're pretty much a public figure. All right. So you want to be mindful of those things. So she didn't show in the media, and that is a little disheartening. But I get it. I get it why she didn't want to be bothered with anything. I get why she didn't want to be bothered with anything, because it's I don't even know. I mean, what do you think, man? What do you think? Let me know your comments in the comment section. Please go ahead and just put your stuff in the comment section. Um, let's see. Just put your information in the comment section. There's information in the description of the show how to make your comments come up with your personal name. If not, if you don't have to do it. If you just want to remain anonymous, just go ahead and be anonymous, right? But it will come up as Facebook user and we'll read your comment. But if you want to be known, if you want to be shouted out in that regard, just type it in inside there and we'll get it. But shifting gears to the Jamaica trials a little bit. Um, on the men's side, I'm guilty of it, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it on Sunday, on Sunday night after the trials are done. I think we're going on Sunday night at 10 o'clock. So we're going to break down some of these races and some of these qualifications or qualifiers. I honestly didn't think that Blake would go sub 10 this entire series, but he opened up looking much trimmer with 9.83. Looking it up real quick. If one of one of my volunteers, you have the time already, just let me know. Let me type it in Jamaica trials. So just let me know what Johan Blake did. Jamaica trials 2022. No, I put in 2002. Should be 2022, right? But he did look really, really good. Okay. Let's see here. Here's a picture of Blake. This picture is coming from Track Alerts. I'm gonna bring it over to you momentarily. But that 9.93, and I understand because I saw the race, he looked pretty good in the race, and that's one of the big things. Yeah, she off that stuff. Yeah, she pretty much did a very good job in that event, and I'm wondering now, what to expect from Blake coming into the next round. Will he go sub 9-9? Akeem, not Akeem Blake, Seville, he looked pretty good as well in his in his shutting down during the event. That's let's see if I can bring up Johan Blake. No, his picture does not come up. I gotta save it as a different file to bring it up. But he looked pretty good. What do you expect from him? And now like I said, the tables have turned. I will now change how I feel about Jamaica's 4x1 chances for the men. I'm willing to admit that I have my predictions off sometimes, but hey, I just go by what I see. But Blake definitely looks a lot more shredded, like he's actually been doing some work, in like a high intensity training sessions, um, where where they do a lot of what you call it, a lot of burst of work, and then you take a quick break. We're pulling up that Johan Blake picture. But at 9.93, we also had Seville with his 9.98. Let's take a quick look. There's Blake. You got in the far right, that's Tajay Gale. I think he qualified as well. And right behind Blake is Kimar Bailey Cole, who had some injury issues over the last several seasons. So, got to say shout outs to whoever is managing Kimar Bailey Cole to get him back to this point. But Blake looked pretty awesome yesterday. So too did Oblique Seville um, and the like. But on the women's side, I think this is where things get really sticky because Shelly comes out who did not need to run, and she ran a 9 point no 9 point a 10.7. People be like, "Yo, she broke FloJo's record." Oh my god, she ran that 10.70. If you run 10.70, you're going to look real fast. So, if everybody's running 11 seconds, but 10.70 is fast, you know. And she had run a night 10.67. See, I keep going to 9 because I want her to run so fast. She ran that 10.67 the week before at that meet in, I think it was Paris, right? So um, anytime you hear me mess up, volunteers, just feel free to go inside the chat and fix it up. All right, appreciate it. So she ran at 10.70, looking real easy. My question is: does anybody know if she's gonna show up at the? Is she going to show at the semifinal today? This today, right? Yeah. Is she gonna show up at the semifinal today? And if she does show the semifinal, is she gonna run the final? Because she has the bye, so it's really 7 spots people are running for, right? Because the eighth place person is gonna be out because she's won already. So is she going to show up? So if anybody knows that information, just type it into the room, please. I appreciate that very much. But I don't think I want to see her run the next 2 rounds, because she just flew from Paris or wherever that meet was. And if I was her coach, yes, that run yesterday was a nice shakeout, right? That was a good shakeout for her. 10.70. Wow. Moving into the other ladies now. Elaine Thompson is Elaine Thompson. So we still got question marks about that. All right, yeah. I mean, what do you want to see? Do you want to see Shelly Ann show up for the race today or not? That's the question. Do you want to see her show up? Because if she shows up, that's going to be more fire, more fire. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more fire in that race. So, do you want to see Shelly Ann? I personally don't want to see her on the track today. I'd love to see her in the stands, eat a peanut, you know, and sign to autograph, or just not be there, just be home chilling. Because sometimes just being out there um, can sap your energy. So I'd really love to see if she's actually going to be there or not. So if anybody knows anything, if you do know, you can just let us know right here inside the lead podcast, the lead track and field podcast. Who knows? We might be changing the name of the group soon. So you do share my sentiment that we don't want to see her run, not because we think she's going to win or anything, but I think in preserving her legs for that 200, because I'd love to see her run the double at the Worlds. She already has to buy in the 100, so there really isn't any need for her to be there, right? So yeah, she already ran 10.67, 10.67, and 10. So we know you're in shape, Shelly. We know you don't have to tell us anymore. We know that you're in shape. You're ready to run. I even saw her with some six-pack abs. I don't know if y'all peeped that this year, because one of the things with Shelly, since I've been watching her in her career from whenever 2008, 10, whatever it was, she always had that little belly, right? But this time around, I'm here talking about belly, but this time around, her abs look ripped. You could see the muscles like pow, 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 pow. So shout out to Shelly and the work that she's been doing, man, because that is some major stuff right there. So let's see here. Let's see the article. Fraser Price, Johan Blake impress. Yeah. Now the other ladies in that race, in the 100 meters, Kemba, Sherika, Brianna, Natasha, all these ladies, The big thing which I said in the last podcast on last Sunday was that that third spot is going to go to somebody who runs their personal best, right? It's going to go to someone who runs their personal best. Is it going to be Brianna? Is it going to be Kemba? Right? Because those are the two favorites I believe most of you want to see on that 4x1, especially with Brianna. She's on that gold medal team from the last Olympics on that leadoff leg. But her PB is 10.97. She ran 10.98. What's it going to take to get down there? Because I think that third person will have to run about a 10.90 or faster to actually get that spot, because it's going to be a tight spot and you have to be ready to run. Kemba Nelson has looked good all season in the NCAA. She took on the likes of Abby Steiner recently at the trials, not the trials, the NCAA finals, and she came through. Right? Don't remember the time she ran, but she came through. So Kemba, etc., will have to run a personal best. Somebody has to get down to that 10.90 to get that next spot, because Elaine is going to be Elaine. Sherika, who wants to take a bet if Sherika is going to beat Elaine? Do you think Sherika could beat Elaine? Would it take a world record for her to beat Elaine? Because the thing is that the upside that Sherika has is the same upside that Fred Kerly has. They're both quarter milers who are sprinters, or I mean, a quarter mile is a sprint, but they have genuine foot speed to go there. So we're gonna see later on today how that pans out. But who do you want to see in that? In that, do you want to see Sherika beat Elaine, or do you want to see Elaine beat Sherika, or does it even matter at this point? I mean, it doesn't matter, because you're gonna have four of the fastest women in the world on that 4x1: Sherika, Elaine, um, Shelly Ann, and Brianna, or Kemba. The NCAA champion, or the world on the youth champion. Who is he gonna be? Just think about that team. That team is filled with champions, Olympic champions, world champions, just champions, NCAA champion. That's a champion team for a champion finish. So oh, Sherika will win. Okay. So you'll be surprised if Sherika runs a PB. Now remember, I can't see your names as you make your comment, because if you don't follow the the what you call it, if you don't follow the instruction to give StreamYard permission to post your name, you're gonna come up as anonymous. So if I don't call your name, don't feel bad. Or maybe I could go over to my own Facebook page and try to see who it is. Let's see. Let me try one more time. All right, so that video is live now. Let's see the comments. I can't see the comments. I don't know why. Let me see something
See the
here. Okay, see, that's what
comments.
happened.
I can't see the
I'm
comments.
going to. Here we go. All right, so you heard that double because I had to go to my Facebook page to check it out. All right, so Gary, you're saying that you'd be surprised if Sherika runs a personal best in the finals, while Ray is saying that it'd be so. Ray is saying Sherika will. So Ray thinks that Sherika will win. Gary would be surprised. I mean, I like Sherika, but I'm just not sure that she has it to beat. Sorry, I just don't. I'm not sure she has it to beat Elaine, because Elaine is gonna leave her in the blocks, and that's her biggest downfall. One of her biggest downfalls. The other part is, even though Sherika comes on towards the end, she does not lean, right? You got to lean to get that trap in there. You got to lean to get your traps, going through, because that's how you're gonna um, get that extra point zero one down. And if you don't do that, someone like Elaine, who definitely dives towards the line, is going to beat you, right? So, I mean, she will. So you guys are looking for a Sherika, huh? Man, she's a cutie. You like her, you love her. When you see her over yonder, you love her. But who is gonna take that third spot? Brianna, Natasha, or would it be a surprise? Now, another surprise from yesterday was the kid Conroy Fort. He ran a 10 flat. That's pretty impressive. Is Conroy Fort his name? Yeah, I think it's Conroy Fort. He ran pretty well yesterday, but there isn't much talk about him. And I think he's a sleeper who is going to be the the one that gets in. He's going to be that sleeper that could upset some of the veterans, so to speak. So Kemba Jones, hmm, let's see. I mean, we could talk all day we want, but we want to watch those races later on. Mind you, I didn't pay for that stuff at One Spot Media. I just couldn't bother paying that what was it, $9 for the whole days, or $4.99 for one of the days. Um, I didn't pay it because I've had bad experiences with One Spot Media, but I know some of you have had good experiences, so you guys have been going on with it. It's Conroy Jones, yeah, Conrad, not Conroy. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me, Mr. Volunteer. I appreciate my volunteers, man. You make your final after the semis. Come on, man. Nah, that's like waiting until the horse race is like they only got like one length to go. you, you know, when the horses turn down that straightaway, now you want to put your bet in? No, you can't bet now. You got to bet before the horses go into the stable. When the jockey's being mounted on in that little paddock, that's when you got to place your bet. So don't be afraid, man. Just let us know your picks, because I made my prediction that Blake wasn't going to run sub 10, and look, I stand by it. But he proved me wrong. And a lot of times when I make some predictions like that, you know, I want to be wrong. I really want to be wrong. But if I'm right, I'm right. You know. So thank you very much, Ray. Appreciate that. Only $8.99 for all 4 days. I know it's only $8.99 for all 4 days, but have you tried it? Anybody on here has tried the One Spot Media? If you tried it, then let me know your experience. Let me know what it's like, how good it's been working for you. But I've tried it. I think I tried them 2 or 3 times before when they just started doing those lives for like champs and the national trials, and it was too horrible. I even had a conversation with a lady at the time who was running it. We were going back and forth on the emails, and I said to her, "Listen, if you want my business, give it to me for free for one event. And if I have no issues, because I sent to the screenshots and everything, I did even like a screen record just to show what I was experiencing. And I went over to the US trials or whatever other meet was going on in the US, and I showed her, look, this is what's happening in here, this is what happening where you are. So just give me one meet, one event for free. And if it's good, then I'll subscribe again. But she wasn't budging. So here I am begging you guys to tell me, is it worth it? Gary says it's worth it. Um, if it is, it is. But I'm still, weary about just throwing my money at it because I've been burned, man. I feel like that's some elephant memory. I'm remembering that trauma too much. All right. So Conrad Jones, big up to Conrad Jones. Excellent service. It's much. So you understand what I'm going through. That is much better now, but you do understand what I'm going through because I've been going through it. When I went through it the 2 or 3 times I tried before, I was like, oh gosh, I think 2 times I got my money back. You know, you said it was great for champs this year. Who knows? I might take the plunge because I want to be able to see some of those races live, and probably even go over to track alerts. That's where we have some more stories that come up, um, and see some of the just look back at some of the stuff, which takes me to another point with the trials. I'm watching it, and I'm watching the results. Sorry, the results through athleticsja.org, and their live results link. For some reason, it's just once it just do it like Nike. The live results link for some reason is just archaic, right? It too no man. The live link that needs something. Somebody need to get them up on that on some good live links. because that live link ain't live at all, man. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all a picture that we took yesterday from the U.S. trials, right? And I don't want nobody to tell me say, I guarantee you, you must be working for them, no man. You working for these people? Tell me if you're working for these people. All right, I'm gonna show you something about the USA trials, right? Which it may impress you, it may not impress you, but I just want to know why is it that we can't do it? Because I know we should be able to do it, right? We took a screenshot from the US trials, right? I'm about to show you that screenshot. Okay. Let me get that screenshot over here onto the screen because that is going to totally blow your mind. If it hasn't already, it's going to totally blow your mind, right? Here it is. So for their trials, what the USA, right, shows, all right, so this is Fred Kerley's race, 9.83. You see at the 30-meter mark, the next 30, and then the last 40, these are the people who qualified, right? What did 10.10 I think is what ran Trayvon Bromell. So you can compare where the athletes are in the race as you go along. You dig? You compare it. So they break it down from for each 30 meters. That's live results. We don't have live results. We have results. We don't have live results. Because even when a race has ran 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour later, you're still refreshing the page trying to see the time. The same thing I was trying to yesterday with the 400-meter hurdles. You just couldn't do it. But anyhow, J Trey, Issa, whoever, Usain, please just drop 100K, help them out to get this sorted out, man. Get a nice IT team in there to fix it up for them. You know, give them their own system. You know, and buy out the contracts that these other guys have. You know, and just take it over, man. Because this what they show sometimes is real rubbish. All right. Now in the 800, Navasky Anderson, he jogged his 148. And luckily he has a qualifying time already for a couple of the meets that are coming up. And I think at the very least he'll probably go to the under 23. But they could still take him to the worlds, you know. Yeah, that's I'm not asking for too much. And I'm gonna tell you why I say I know I'm not asking for too much. Okay. I'm gonna tell you why. Um I'm gonna tell you why I know I'm not asking for too much. I run small high school meets here in Fort Lauderdale. And we have live result links, not as detailed as the USA trials. But I don't know what is the holdup because Jamaica has internet. I don't know what is the holdup with the HTML looking site. A part of the fan experience, a part of the spectator experience are things like these. This creates excitement, believe it or not, because now you can see who's running where, what, when, how, and you get to break down the race in your conversations if you want to break it down, right? So now you can say, yeah, he really did shut it down the last 30 meters, or that second phase of the race is really good. And I think it's also a great thing for the coaches as well as the athletes when they look back at stuff like that to fine tune their race. This is how you get to fine tune your race. That's data that you can use to improve your race, your phases of your race. That is information that you could use. You know, you can say, look, you're getting out too slow. You know, you're at 4.0 for the first 30 meters. The other people are at 3.8 already. But you do come back in the middle part, and the last part you kind of taper off again. So we got to get you to either fix the end of your race or fix the start of your race. These are just things that help in the coaching experience, the athlete experience, and the fan experience. Believe me, you know, like when you're watching like a distance race and you're watching the times go up and down. If an athlete's moving in the front, first, second, third, fourth, and they go up and down in position and so forth, you know, you take that information, you see the splits that your athlete ran, that helps the experience, man. So I'm not asking for too much. This is pretty standard stuff. Very standard. Maybe the 100 grand that I throw out there for Usain Bolt to drop is asking for too much, but I know it doesn't cost that much because the people I know who run these who I hire for these track meets, they don't have nothing money close to Bolt, right? Somebody like Bolt, somebody like Blake, Asafa. If these guys come together and just put in a nice timing system, that'd be great. All right, because sometimes you see the results for the 4x4 as well, and they'll tell you who had what split and so on and so forth. I mean, some watches now, some little watches that you have for personal use, they could do that stuff too. But not trying to take up too much of your time today. We look forward to what's going to be happening later on in both the trials in Jamaica and in the USA. Jamaica trials, I'm not sure what time it starts. I think it's probably like 5 o'clock or something, and US is about 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So whichever one you watch, we hope that you have a great experience, man, because it's going to be a mega bash, people. It's going to be a mega bash. But also, as you go through, you're going to get a link later on for my YouTube channel that we're going to be asking you to subscribe to as well, because the broadcast will go from Facebook to Facebook and YouTube. All right. Yeah, 5 o'clock. Jamaica trial starts at 5 o'clock, which is like 6 o'clock over here on the East Coast. Um, so it's not too bad. Even with that 400, now that you mention it, that 400 meters, men, the men 400 meters, you know, Powell goes in with the fastest time, but is not with the best time, not the best personal best. USA is at 10 p.m. I thought it started at 7. Huh. Whichever way, man, we'll check it out. We'll figure it out. So you could watch one and then watch the other. Um, we can find out. Drop a link if you got the link. Volunteers, please. That's why I call you guys my volunteers. Just drop that link in. 10 p.m. Okay, USA is 10 p.m. Thought it was 7. Maybe yesterday was 7. Was yesterday start at 7? So my assumption was, oh, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Here's why I said 7, because now it makes sense. 7 o'clock is over there, so right? Eastern is 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's why. So I was right, but I didn't give the correct time zone. 7 o'clock over there, so 10 o'clock over here, so yeah, no TV coverage yesterday. Yeah, man. So that was my mistake. But it's 10 o'clock Eastern, so we could get to actually watch both, one after the other. But back to that men's 400, which kicks off today. You got Taylor, who, to me, Taylor has struggled all season, right? His time has come there, but he struggled all season, and we'll see what happens, right? Now, Javon Francis, another one who I say, in my estimation, has struggled. Demish Gay, we haven't really heard or seen much from him all season. Nathan Allen, not sure what to make of him, because there are times when Nathan seems to be running so well, and then he just kind of checks out. And I like Nathan because he has such a smooth running form. He doesn't even look like he's running, and I like him for that. Sean Bailey, last year he was another favorite, but he got injured. I don't know if it was at our trials or NCAA's. He got injured. One of the two places he got injured. Then we have UTEP's, another UTEP coached by former Jamaica 400-meter runner David Clark. We have Javon Powell. Now the thing with Powell, he did run a good personal best at, I don't know if it was his conference meet or regional championship, where he ran at 44.87. He looked pretty good. But then when he went to the national championships and the NCs, he did look a little tepid at the national champion in the finals, right? So I'm not sure where his mental state is. I spoke to him before he went to the trials. He said he's good. He said he's ready to run well. And I really hope he runs well, because, that's a special kid for me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he ran 45.5 or 45.2 in the heats and 45.5 or 45.5 in the finals. I had a whole store watching him. So we'll see what he actually does tonight. But he's my favorite to win. But I just hope that he could go through. Is it 2 rounds they have in Jamaica trials or 3 rounds? The heats and semis or heat semis and final, whichever way it is. I'm just hoping he make it through. Again, Akeem Bloomfield is still a question mark in my book because what is he ran this season? I hardly see his name. I think he ran some 200s, right? Let me look him up. Akeem Bloomfield, World Athletics, because they'll probably have his results from this season. Let's look him up. He's 24. All right, so he's getting up there. It says he's back and ready. Uh, let's see. Progression, season's best. So far this season, he ran a 10:44 in April. He ran a 20.2 in June, a 45.56 in June, and he ran on a 4x4 in June. I think that was Florida Relays or some meet in University of Florida, Percy Bird Track, Gainesville. So yeah, so 10:44, 20.2, 45.5. That's not a banner season by any stretch of the imagination. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 44.9 world champs qualified timer. Yeah, I mean, again, when did he do that 44.9? I think he ran it at champs, right? 44.96. But again, he hasn't really produced anything this season. So is it that did he have problems during the season getting into meets, or did he have problems, with a niggle or something? I like Bloomfield as well, but we've got to see where these guys are, where these guys come in at, because with only one man so far this season under 45, and it's not even a big under 45. It's like 44.87. If it was like a 44.5, then yeah, I feel a little bit more confident in that. But his body's been there. His body's gonna go there again. But I don't know what's going on with Bloomfield, right? So I think someone mentioned that Taylor, even if he doesn't run the time today because of the Olympics last season, he ran the time within that year of making that qualifying mark. He's the next one who's going to be running. So if no one beats the qualifying mark, then Javon and Taylor are the automatics to go represent Jamaica in that 400 based on the qualifying times, but not necessarily on position in the trials. So the rest of the guys will really have to step up to knock those guys off the pedestal. But I do want Powell out there. That's my hope, not my prediction. That's my hope that he can do it. So we'll see what happens, man. Um, Anything else? So that men's 400, it is what it is. And later on, I don't know, Gary. I may take you up on that. If I don't like it, I will be sending you the bill through Facebook. I will be requesting a payment through Facebook Pay for the $8.99 if it's not a good experience. All right, a good experience just means a smooth. I am not there to judge the announcing or the starters or anything. I'm just judging the quality of the feed. Okay, Gary, we have a deal. I'll do the $8.99 if you know what I'm saying. If it comes through good, then yeah, you'll be off the hook. But I'll be sending you that Facebook Pay request. All right, if it's not a good experience. Um, but anyhow, that's my time, people. We'll be back tomorrow or later on tonight when we break down some of the races and look forward to Sunday. Now Sunday's edition is going to be a special edition. You'll personally pay back. Yo, I got that in writing, so you know what I'm saying, son. Uh, so Sunday we're going to talk scholarships, because what I find interesting is we have LSU announcing that they have signed um, Brianna Liston, right? Let me get that picture up there. She was she was she's in, right? She's gotten a scholarship to Louisiana State, LSU, right? But the comments from the from people, it has been a little concerning to me, right? See, that's the announcement that LSU made regarding young Brianna Liston. They made that. She's from Hyda's High School. She Portmore, Jamaica. She does the sprints. They even put her personal best. I think it was 11:11 and 22, whatever she ran. And what I found interesting was that there's so many people who, under the post, right? The few people who I've commented so far, someone posted in another group said LSU though, like there's a problem with LSU. Um, then someone says Muna Lee. I think if it's the same Muna Lee, let me look at this picture. If it's the same Muna Lee, she ran for North Carolina back in the day, quarter mile. And some are saying maybe she wants an education and to run fast. Then someone says she can get an education anywhere, Florida, Georgia, USC, etc. So it's kind of like they're questioning her choice of school. Then there's another that I think is in my group in the Road to Champs, where they were asking, you know, let me see if I could find the comments. Omar Hook says, I wonder if they will make her run 42 races like Kevona Davis already ran this, have already run this year. Of course, there's a site called Track and Field Reference System, TFIRST. And on the TFIRST website, um, you can see exactly how many races this person runs. At every meet that she's run, at most of the meets she ran indoor, all she ran was a 60 meter and a 200. The 60 meter always has a heat and a final, most every time. The 200 meter is one race. She ran sparingly on a 4x2 and a 4x4. Right? Yeah, Shakira went to LSU, so did Aaliyah Hobbs. Um, Michelle Liahi, did she go there? Listen, LSU has always produced good sprinters for the US and Jamaica. There's no doubt about it. So I'm not really one sure why anybody's questioning that. But there's always the talk about the burnout, the races, the number of events they're going to have them running. And this is why I think, what's his name from Wilma's? He did a piece a couple years ago. I think he's working for TVJ now. Um, what's that boy's name? The hurdler dude. He ran the 400 hurdles from Wilma's, and then he went to some school, and he came back to Jamaica and was talking about how he ran so many races and this and that. And the truth is, people, you cannot get overworked in the college system. If you ran Extol, right, Dwayne Extol, right, he trolled us with that video, saying how he ran so many races, and it was like a experience that he didn't want. Either it was horrible and so forth. And I'm like, bro, you can't overwork nobody in the NCAA system when it comes to running races, unless you're like Matt Bowley, who wants to run everything at the NCs, which doesn't make any sense. But outside of that, it doesn't make any sense. The schedule doesn't allow it. And if you run the 1-2, you're going to run the 1-2 and the 4x1 at the track meet. You may run the 4x4 on occasion. The only meet you probably all get quote unquote overworked is your conference meet, but you're still limited to like 4 events. So, the fact that she ran 42 races with half of those being 60-meter races, please step off. Step off with trying to sell the idea that the NCAA destroys the athletes and this and that. I mean, look at what's going on in Jamaica. Look how many kids stay home in Jamaica and you don't hear from them. You don't see them. So what? Jamaica's destroying them? No, not everybody's going to progress in a linear fashion. So just step off it. And it's just sad that there's so many who share that sentiment that the school is going to destroy the athlete. It's going to burn them out. So just be wary of those things. You know, most of the kids are not going to become, world stars or whatever, but they'll have a very good experience running at a very high level. All right. So in the 400 hurdles, we're gonna see we need some guys under 49 seconds this season, Jamaica. All right. This is the last time I'm saying that's my time because this is this is my time. All right. So we'll leave you with that photo of the one Miss Brianna Liston. It's Garrity, man. Remember, later on tonight or tomorrow, I'll make a post that I'm coming on if I'm coming on tonight or sometime tomorrow. We'll let you know what's going on. All right. So it's been fun as always. Be sure to check us out on Sunday. That's when we got a big show. The big show is Sunday for the lead. And for taking the lead, my name is Sean. Have yourselves a good rest of the day. And good luck to all the athletes in the respective qualifying trials.